Alrighty guys, this is snugsonblitz and I'm back with another video for you today. Today's video is all about a little bit of fun. No gameplay for you, just I want to look into my crystal ball and see if I can predict the future. Yes, I will be releasing this video at the end of November, so it's going to be roughly about 3 weeks before the Christmas event starts. It usually starts around December 17th and runs until the end of the year or early in the year, where you'll be able to get snow globes, earn a few little trinkets here and there. Of course, what today's video is all about is the auction tanks. For those of you who don't know, over the course of about 18 to 21 days, you will have the opportunity to pick up some tanks for sometimes a very good price, sometimes not a very good price. Last year we had 41 tanks in the auction. I looked at what tanks were in the store recently, and today they just put the Super Conch in, so that's why I'm redoing this video, because it was one of my picks for the auctions. Anyway, I hope that you give me your thoughts in the comments below if you think I'm right or wrong. Which tanks do you expect to see? It's nothing serious. I don't know anybody at Wargaming. Don't think this is gospel, that I have some sort of clairvoyance. I do not. I'm just throwing it out there and seeing how close I can get, to be honest with you. We'll find out only after about a month's time, because that's when the third set of tanks will be released. Until then, we won't know how close I've gotten. But Wargaming does release some tanks that are in Tier 7, a lot in Tier 8, a few in Tier 9, and a few in Tier 10. It's the strategy they always use, and they have some tanks that kind of stink at a low price. They have some tanks that are pretty awesome at quite high prices, and some tanks that may not get picked up quickly and drop down to affordable prices. So let's just get right to it. We're going to start off at Tier 7. So the first tank I think that will find its way into the auction is the Stura WT. Yeah, I'm not going to go over the gold prices today, because I'm going to wait for the actual auctions to drop to give you my thoughts on what I think is a fair price and what I would be willing to pay for a tank. But today is just what will be in the auction. I do think you might see the Type 62. Hasn't been around for a while, although it was available, I think, in an event earlier this year. You never know. It might rear its sexy head. If it is in there, you might be able to get it for a very nice price too. I do think you will see the Dracula. Why? Because everybody wants it, even though most people already have it. However, it is a favorite, and for the people who have not got it, it's a chance to pick it up for a fairish price. It's usually way overpriced in my opinion, but it's still a freaking awesome tank, even after all these years. No, I do not think you'll see the Smasher or Annihilator. I don't think there's a chance in hell that will happen, but I do think you will see the Lycan. It's not super OP. It is kind of cool looking. Some people might want to pick it up for their collection. I also think the Pharaoh will make an appearance. The Pharaoh has not been in the auctions before, if I'm correct. And I think it might make a nice appearance. Likewise, the Helsing is another tank that people seem to want to get their hands on if they haven't got it already. I mean, it's got a 2-shot, so yeah, it's kind of cool if you don't have it. It does look the beast. It really does. What else might you see in Tier 7? I think you're gonna probably see the Kunza Panzer. I think it might make an appearance. Just I have this funny suspicion. I do not think you'll see the Super Hellcat or the T26E3, because they were given away for free in events this year, as well as the VK4503. That's why I've kind of neutralized them from my list. Moving on to Tier 8. Oh, sorry, one tank I forgot to mention that I do not have in my garage, and that is the Gravedigger. I definitely think you will see that there, because they like to put a bunch of Halloween tanks there. Not a tank I've ever wanted, so That's why I didn't even mention it. Now, I don't think you're going to see this tank, sadly, the T-77. If you've been hoping to get that, I think it's still too new to put in auctions and quite strong. It was recently in the store, so I don't think they want to drop it in this soon. But I do think you'll see the T-54E2, and this is a tank you want to pick up if you do not have it already. Oh my goodness, this tank is a lovely tank. Likewise, I think the Kilo will make an appearance. Yeah, the Keeler, I don't think it's been in the auction before, so I think it's going to be one of those tanks that people, might be able to get for a fair price. It's been in the store recently, but it's never been in the auction, so yeah, might make an appearance. Again, I'm going off memory here, so feel free to let me know in the comments. Like, yeah, it was in the auctions 2 years ago or 3. I don't remember every detail. I'm not going to sit there and dig through all my notes, so whatever. SU-130, definitely, it's a popular tank. People want it. And Wargaming has to mix the tanks up, not just heavy tanks, but some tank destroyers, some light tanks. The Defender Mark 1 will make an appearance, I believe, because they nearly always put the Defenders at Christmas. Type 57, sadly, I do not think it will make an appearance. Likewise, I don't think the Progetto will be there because they've just put it in the store for 10k gold. The Sheriff, though, I do think will make an appearance, and I think you might be able to pick this up at a nice price because it's getting a little bit older. It's not a tank people really want, so I think it will be around for a while. I think you might see the Chrysler K. I think it's between the Chrysler K or the M6. I don't think both of them will be in the auction, but I'm going with the Chrysler K right now. Just it's a unique tank, so I think that gives it the edge. The T-28 Defender I think will also be there. And one other Defender I don't have is the AMX Defender, so I definitely think that would be there. TS5 was in the summer auctions, that's why it's not going to make the list. The M48 A2 Rampanzer, I definitely think this is going to be in the auction. Yeah, it's one of those tanks that looks kind of cool. People think it's better than it is, so yeah. I don't think it'll be that expensive if it pops in the store. I said the Kilo would be there, but it's very possible that the E75 could be. I mean, they're almost interchangeable, so maybe this one will be in there. I don't know. But I do think the Kanonen will make an appearance. Why? Because they need some tank destroyers, and it's a little bit different. Scorpion G, I also think will be there. It's a little bit older. Some people really want this tank for whatever reason. It's not as strong as it once was, so yeah. Wouldn't be surprised to see it there. T-50 Mod 1, no, it was in the summer auctions. I don't think it'll make an appearance, though. The 252 will make an appearance. Why? Because it's a tank that everybody seems to want, even after all these years. Sadly, I think, if my prediction is right, it'll probably start around 7k and drop down, so in the beginning, it's not a good deal, to be honest with you. I mean, I picked this up for 5k a long time ago in the store, so yeah. I got lucky with that one, I guess. IS-3 Defender. I do think this will make an appearance. Why? Because the other Defenders will probably make an appearance. I do think the Chimera will be there, probably. And I'm actually going to go with the G-Sor. The G-Sor is a tank that I do not think has been in the auction before, so I think it's time they need some fresh blood. They might ship it there. Chinese tanks. Sadly, I do not think the WZ-121 GFT will make an appearance. I think maybe next year that will happen. Still a tank everybody seems to want, and it does look the business, but it's not a tank I think you really need in your garage anymore. It's just not as beastly as it once was, but it is fun. It is fun to play, I give it that. I think you might see the WZ-112 It's been a long time since I've seen this tank in the store, so I think they might just shove it here in the auctions. And if you can't get the Object 252, yeah, this is a decent replacement if you like the IS-3 playstyle. It's a little bit unique. It reverses quite fast for a heavy tank. I think you might see this tank, WZ-122 TM. That means that there will be 2 Chinese tanks there. I think you might get lucky and see the Barask in the auction. It might be overpriced, but if you wait, or if you can wait, and not everybody picks it up really quickly, you might be able to get it for a fair price. It's a tank a lot of people want. I don't think some people should pick it up because it's not maybe good for them. If you like the SP1C playstyle, then this tank is probably just like that, except better, although it's a higher tier. What else do I think? I think you'll see the Soma. It's a decent French heavy tank. Yeah, does well in the battlefield, relatively speaking. Let's go to T27, was just in the store, so nope. But the T56 was not, so I definitely think this will make the cut this year. The Emil 1951, I was going to say that, but it was in the Black Friday event, so nope. But I do think some tanks that I do not have, I think you will see the AMX CDA 105. It's not that popular, so I think you might be able to get for a good price. I think the Lance & C will make an appearance. The Lance & C has been around for a while, but I don't think it has been in the auctions yet, so I expect it will make its debut. I think the Titan 54 will also be there. So, yeah. I think that's all Tier 8. Moving on to Tier 9. Tier 9 doesn't have many choices right now. I'm hoping that Wargames expands the Tier 9 premium tanks. That way, Tier 9 will be more enjoyable in the sense that it won't have to play against a lot of Tier 10 tanks because there'll be more premium tanks to play against, which will make it more fun. So I'm hoping in years to come that they expand this tier a little bit more. I think you will be seeing the Object 752. It was in the auction last year. I think it will make an appearance again. Why? Because it's freaking good. I think a lot of people that don't have it will want it, and it will be a chance to pick it up for a fair-ish price. I think the KPZ 70 will also make an appearance. Why? Because the KP9 was just in the Black Friday event. Likewise, the AMX 30 Proto was in the event. So, nope, those two tanks will probably not be there. So I'm going to go with the T55A. Hasn't been around for a while, so I think it might say hello during the Christmas event. Yeah, I mean, maybe the Ritter, but that was given away for free. Likewise with the 50 TP, so I think they're going to put this one in. It's a medium, so something different. All right. Moving on to Tier 10, and I guess that's what a lot of people are interested in. What Tier 10 tanks will there be? So I think that, well, I think the T22 will be there. It's a popular tank. Even now, a lot of people still want to get a hands on this legendary tank. And after the buff, it has gotten some nice armor enhancements, so that's nice. 121 was just in the store, so no. Badger was just in the store, put in the other day, and Super Kong just today. So those three are off the list, but I do think the AMX 30B will be there. First of all, this tank has gotten a nice buff recently. It is a very popular tank now for pros. It is a fun tank as well, and I think the reason people stayed away from it before is because it was a little bit weak compared to the other tanks, but now with a buff, it's a lovely, lovely tank. So I do think they might put it in. I think the Chieftain will make the cut too. I can't remember when this was last in the store, but it's been a while, so I think it's time to get it back in. No, the Object 777 will not make the cut. That's too new. VK90, I would have said yes, except it was just in the Black Friday event, so nope. Likewise with the T95E6, nope. I don't think the Straswagen K is too new, so they won't put that in. 260 was in the summer auctions, so we're crossing that out. So we're crossing tanks off left, right, and center. But I do think the 907 will be there. Yep, 907. I fully expect that to be one of the tier 10 tanks you can pick up. And I definitely think the AMX M454 will be there. It was there last year. It wasn't in the Black Friday event, so I do think it will be coming into the Christmas auctions. So that's 5 tier 10 tanks. I have one choice left, and this is a tough one for me. I thought it might be the KPZ 50 ton, but it's a little bit new. So I think I'm going to have to go with the Concept 1B. Following Wargaming strategy is usually tanks that were in the Snow Globe 2 years ago finally make their appearance after 2 years. And so that would mean the Concept 1B will be there. So yes, you might be able to pick up this bad boy in the event. However, here's the only however. If Wargaming thinks this tank is too overcooked because of its armor compared to other tanks, they might decide to just skip that one and put the KPZ 50 ton in instead. I don't know, it's a medium tank, it's a great tank, I love it, but maybe it's not performing as well as the Concept 1B, which is why they might decide to put this tank in first. That's all I got for you today. A little bit of prognostications, looking into the future and seeing what I think will be there. And this is just fun for me because I want to see how close I get to being able to guess what tanks will be available. And if I'm wrong, you can laugh at me and insult me and do all that lovely stuff in the comments. And if I'm right, you can, well, whatever. It doesn't really make a difference. I'm here to help people and sometimes just have a little bit of fun. Remember, this is a game, guys. It's a game. I've said it before. I'll say it again. This is not your life. I played a lot, but I just have time on my hands, so I just play the game when I can, So anyway, that's all I got for you. I hope you found this video interesting, fun, a little bit silly maybe, but I just thought people should get excited. And yeah, I guess I will see you tomorrow. Snugs on Blitz, out.